Humans have told stories about ravens for countless generations. Like humans, ravens and other corvids seem to enjoy shiny objects. They are known to play with them, play fight with their friends and siblings over them, and, most interestingly, to hide them for safekeeping. Why? It's hard to believe that such intelligent birds are mistaking bottle caps and shiny pink beads for the carrion and nuts that they tend to forage for, even though they hide both. The answer might be found in examining which ravens tend to item cache the most. Juveniles, who are still learning their social role and how to forage and, well, how to raven properly. Both juvenile and adult ravens are known to be able to recognize and differentiate between those who have raided their caches in the past and those who aren't so prone to thievery. In short, ravens remember, but before they remember, they need to learn. Meet Poe. Poe fledged her adult feathers about 2 months ago, but she still isn't quite grown up, like many young ravens. She sticks with her group of peers while they search for food. Poe doesn't really care about all that right now, though, because Poe has found something far more exciting: a plastic spoon. Her brothers, Whiskey and Jack, have also noted her new plaything. Ravens are one of the few bird species to engage in social object play, particularly among juveniles. This might be a method of learning how to exploit their environment. By learning about unfamiliar objects in a safe, communal way, they can learn strategies to determine unfamiliar objects that can be used as food or tools. When playtime's over, Poe hides her newfound treasure carefully. She'll remember this cache. That's part of what makes her and her corvid cousins so special. She goes about her raven life, staying close to her siblings. Jack, on the other hand, hasn't finished with the spoon. He digs up the spoon and takes it for himself. Poe isn't particularly bothered. There are more important things to worry about after all. Things to do and birds to see. Now, let's revisit Poe and Jack and their brother Whiskey. Their small flock has found a deer carcass. Poe and Whiskey are more dominant ravens than Jack, and so they get access to the choice cuts of meat, which they aren't particularly keen on sharing. Now, Poe has started to cache these tasty snacks for later, but she has visitors. Whiskey comes along first. This is no bother to her. He goes about his business just as he did with the spoon that she hid earlier. Jack takes notice of her activities. She knows him for the thief that he is. It's time for Poe to get back to work. Her food safely recached, Poe returns to the flock with her brothers and continues to forage at the carcass. Being able to differentiate between the passive Whiskey and the thieving Jack could be the difference between life and death in the lean winter months, when cached food is used as a reserve. However, it's important to remember that there is no protagonist in nature. Jack needs food just as much as Poe does, so they engage in a sort of arms race, a true sibling rivalry. Poe guards her cache jealously. Meanwhile, Jack's pecks nearby. What's over here? Something interesting, maybe. He pecks at non-caches. There is no food there. Poe pays him no mind. He seems to be going about his business as usual. Maybe he's just avoiding interactions with his more dominant siblings. But what's this now? Whiskey's still here, and although Jack doesn't attack the cache outright, he quits his pecking. Was this deception? It's hard to say. We can't exactly ask our feathered friends here. But Jack seems to know that Poe was the one who needed to be convinced of his disinterest in her cache. Whiskey's also dominant, but Jack didn't seem to peck at the ground in the presence of just Whiskey. This quick change in behavior suggests that Jack and other ravens can likely differentiate between types of competitors. That way, Jack can hone his thieving and adjust his behavior accordingly. What does this have to do with the weird little game with the spoon in the beginning? Well, this spoon provided a wealth of information for both Poe and Jack. Jack learned his sister's caching behaviors. From watching Jack steal her spoon, Poe knew that he would probably also steal her more important food items. Thus, Poe's favorite little spoon served a much more important social learning function. The back-and-forth learning offered by caching play thus promotes the survival of those participating, fueling the sibling rivalry well into adulthood.